Welcome to Criminologist, where we explore some of the most fascinating and perplexing true crime cases from around the world. Today, we're venturing into the heart of the American West to investigate a mystery that has baffled investigators for nearly a century: the disappearance of Glenn and Bessie Hyde. While most couples would be content to spend their honeymoon lounging on a beach in an exotic local, those close to newlyweds Glenn and Bessie Hyde say they were not most couples. Their honeymoon plan was to raft the rapids of the Colorado River and continue their possibly record-breaking trip through the Grand Canyon. Glenn was 29 when he embarked on this trip, and his new bride was just 22. Little did they know this trip would be their last, or was it Glenn Roland Hyde had been a farmer in Twin Falls, Idaho, before meeting Bessie, whose maiden name was Haley. She was originally from Parkersburg, West Virginia. While Glenn was a lover of the outdoors from an early age, Bessie had always loved the theater in high school. She played Juliet in SAESB's Romeo. And Juliet, graduating in 1924, she moved by herself to California later, enrolling at the California School of Fine Art in San Francisco. The couple first met in 1927, encountering each other while on a passenger ship traveling to Los Angeles, just 1 year prior to their mysterious disappearance. At the time the two met, Bessie was still legally married just 1 day after Bessie's divorce from her first husband was finalized. She and Glenn were married on April 10, 1928. Glenn had a decent amount of experience with river running, having traveled the Salmon and Snake Rivers in Idaho with the well-known river runner named Cap Geek in 1926. Bessie was more of a novice. However, they decided to work together to set a new speed record for traveling through the Grand Canyon. By 1928, only 45 people had managed to ever fully traverse the length of the Grand Canyon by boat. This feat would have also put Bessie in the record books as the first documented woman to make the treacherous journey. The river included parts where challenging rapids and unpredictable currents presented themselves, but the couple was more than halfway finished with their trip, which had gone well so far. In October of 1928, the Hydes went to Green River, Utah, where Hyde built his own boat, a 20-reson wooden sweep scow, the type used by river runners of that time in Idaho. He named the boat Rain in the Face after a Standing Rock Sioux chief, with the same name who had fought with Sitting Bull at Little Big Horn in 1876. The couple set off down the canyons of the Green and Colorado Rivers on October 20th, 1928. The couple successfully traversed labyrinth-style and cataract canyons. Without incident, upon reaching the Grand Canyon, they disembarked at Bright Angel Creek to ascend the South Kabob Trail. It was there at the south rim that they encountered Emery Knobb, who was a renowned photographer and river guide, while visiting his studio and home on the canyon rim. Emery LED'd them around the area and extended an offer to provide Glenn with life jackets. The one thing that seemed to be missing from his boat. Glenn declined the offer. Emery recalls Bessie looking at his youngest daughter and admiring her outfit, saying aloud, quote, "I wonder if I shall ever wear pretty shoes again." When questioned later, Emery remarked that Bessie appeared to be ready to abandon the journey at that very moment, but says that Glenn persisted, saying that they would resume their descent down the trail the following day before departing. Emmy took a photograph of the couple, their last portrait. While near the river, they encountered Adolphe Sutro, the grandson of the late Adolphe Sutro Sr., a well-known property developer whose contributions are said to have shaped the urban fabric of late 19th century San Francisco. Intrigued by their boat, Sutro Jr. expressed interest in joining the Hydes for the day, intending to hike out at Hermit Trail. Glenn agreed and fed Sutro the 8 miles to Hermit Creek upon reaching their destination. Sutro disembarked, becoming the final individual to witness the couple alive. They were last seen Sunday, November 18, 1928, when they boat away from a supply station at the Hermit Rapids. As they floated down the river, the Hydes paddled the raft and vanished into history. Glenn's father, Roland, initiated a search even before the couple were considered overdue at Needles, California. On December 6, 1928, he conducted an extensive search for his missing son and daughter-in-law, employing various strategies such as orchestrating a launch of a multiple river expedition and enlisting the assistance of Native American trackers to scour the rim. The concerned father also successfully obtained authorization from the Secretary of War, Dwight Davis, for an aerial search of the canyon. On December 19th, the search efforts yielded results as military planes spotted the scow, lodged mid-river at River Mile 237. The pilots reported that the boat appeared relatively undisturbed, sparking renewed hope in Roland. It was reported that the boat remained upright and fully intact, with the supplies still secured the search party, which included Emmy and Ellsworth. Nob embarked to recover the vessel on Christmas morning after a difficult journey. They came upon the scow drifting silently in a tranquil and calm spot of the river, just before mile marker 237, the brothers. Professionals in photography by trade documented the scene upon boarding. The vessel, they discovered everything was undisturbed. Books, diaries, various provisions, attire, and even a firearm was still present on the boat, yet the Hydes were nowhere to be found. Gathering what they could, the party unhooked and released the boat. Imno's decision to sever the bull line and release the boat, undertaken for motives that remain undisclosed, subsequently drew significant criticism directed towards him for this action. A camera retrieved from the boat by the brothers revealed that the last photo was taken near River Mile marker 165, likely on or around November 27th. Unfortunately for investigators, the diary offered zero insight as to who or what made Bessie and her husband abandon their boat on the water. Evidence from the search suggested that the couple had recently reached River Mile 226 Diamond Creek, where they presumably set up camp. Bessie's journal specifically mentions their passage. Beyond mile marker 231, historian Oder Martson put forth a compelling argument that the couple may have encountered submerged rocks in the turbulent rapids near River Mile 232, resulting in their being swept from the boat. He stated that the danger of the area is that it is filled with, quote, pieces of granite wall that lie submerged, where they have damaged, snared, or capsized more boats than any other location in the canyon. However, critics of this opinion say the boat was found upright and the food and supplies were found dry. As the new year arrived, newspapers reluctantly acknowledged the presumed demise of the Hydes and shifted their focus to other stories. The grief-stricken father returned to Idaho, where he read and grappled with the contents of Bess's journal, hoping to uncover any clues. The following winter, he returned to the area the couple went missing from, in search of their bodies. But his efforts proved fruitless. Over time, various theories emerged. Bessie's father leaned towards the possibility of murder, while river runner Norman Neville said that drowning was the most plausible explanation the case got. Stranger in later years, though, when random people started coming forward claiming to be one of the missing Hydes, the speculation surrounding the Hydes' disappearance reached such a high level that it garnered attention. From the LA Times in 1971, a woman on a commercial boating trip claimed to be Bessie Hyde, alleging that she had fatally stabbed Glenn in a fit of anger before starting a new life in Peach Springs, Arizona. However, when later confronted by reporters, the woman, identified as Elizabeth Cutler, denied making such statements. Despite multiple contrary reports, investigators thought a significant revelation had come to light following I.M. Nobbs passing in 1976, being the last of the Hydes' acquaintances to see the pair. He was questioned and cleared after his death. They began to clean his garage, and in 1977, a human skull with a visible bullet hole was found. Initial examinations suggest that it belonged to a man in his 20s, similar in stature to Glenn Hyde. This fueled massive speculation. But in 2008, forensic analysis confirmed it was not Glenn's skull. Further investigation revealed that Emery, who had served as a county coroner jury representative, likely retained the skull from a separate case following the tries in 1992, after the death of the famous Grand Canyon River guide, Georgie Clark. Intriguing items were discovered among her belongings. These items included a pistol alongside the HDE's marriage certificate and a birth certificate under the name Betsy D. Rowe. This raised multiple questions about Clark's possible connection to Bessie Hyde. Although local authorities chose not to reopen the case, despite the discovery of the marriage certificate, Bessie's journals have in them a poem written by Bessie that some see as an eerie foreshadow of events. The short poem reads, "Oh, Mama dear, please come. My dolly must be drowned. When I put her in the creek, she sunk without a sound." Wee Betty's eyes filled with tears. Where could poor Dolly be? Perhaps she turned into a mermaid and drifted out to sea. Glenn and Bessie Hyde remain missing to this day. What do you think happened to them? Share your theories in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more true crime stories.